Well, hello to my wonderful listeners and viewers. My name is Ruth Hill, and I am the host of Media from the Heart. And today's guest, so exciting, Donna Joe Strickler. She is one of the admins over at the Tyler Hynes official Facebook group. And we had a wonderful chat. There were over 40 members of that group, or if they weren't members of the group, they're at least fans of Tyler's. And we had a great discussion. She told us about adminning the group and about how much fun it is to interact with the group members. And so I hope you tune in and enjoy and learn something along the way. She had lots of great information to share. And although Tyler was not in attendance, trust me, we did talk quite candidly about him. So enjoy.
Well, I want to welcome all of you to another episode of my podcast, Media from the Heart. My name is Ruth Hill, and I'm the host. And I am so very excited to have not only my very special guest, who I will introduce in just a very, very quick moment, but I'm excited to have this incredible virtual audience. We'll be seeing the virtual audience as we go on. There'll be a few that will come on, but this is a very different kind of podcast that I have never done before. Lots of times I'm interviewing people. I'll be interviewing various authors or writers or people behind the scenes. In this case, this is more of a hangout for fans, and I have a very special guest. Let me tell you, first of all, what fans are mainly here. There is an actor who is very well connected with Hallmark. His name is Tyler Hynes, and his fans are called the Hynies, which I know is a really fun play on words. I remember when the whole thing started, Tyler Hynes, and I've only known him for a few years. My special guest has been aware of his work for a lot longer than that, and she'll get to tell you about that. But it's really exciting for me to see the way that this fandom has exploded, and there's actually a Facebook group, and the very special guest that I have. I want to read a little intro for her, but her name is Donna Joe Strickler. We are very, very happy to have her. And I just want to give you a little background information on her. Donna Joe Strickler is the administrator of the Tyler Hynes official Facebook fan club group, Tyler's largest fan page with over 16,200 members. I'm sorry, not all of those are here today. We do have a very good representation, but not all of them are here today. She's a longtime fan of Tyler's, going all the way back to 2009, watching him as Gabriel and I guess it's Valemont. She'll have to tell me if I said that right. Is it Valemont? Valemont.
Mm-hmm.
Valemont. And his signature hand on the face before a kiss. And she was very, very sad that ended after only one season, that particular series. Donna Joe is assisted with the fan group by co-admin Gail Nelson and two moderators, Brenda and Ashley, to help work the fan group. And this fan group, I've seen it in action. It's pretty doggone incredible. Donna Joe does have a full-time job as a principal secretary at a high school, over 300 faculty and staff with a student enrollment over 3,600, her district's paraprofessional paraeducator services committee chairperson, along with taking care of her 86-year-old mother. So she is a very busy person, and somehow she has found time to help with this incredible Facebook group for Tyler Hynes. And so Donna Joe, it is such an honor to have you. So thank you very much for agreeing to be a guest on my podcast. It's so fun to have you here.
Thank you, Ruth. I'm really, really excited. I love to talk about Tyler, and I think he's an amazing young man. I talk to strangers. People stop by my door all the time here at work, and they know the conversation is going to come around to Hallmark, and they know it's going to eventually turn around to Tyler. And they, on Fridays, they always come by and want to know, is Tyler on this weekend? Is your man going to be on this weekend? I can always tell them when his movies are going to be on. I can give him all that information. So
Oh yeah, and your fan group does keep up with. I happen to be a member. I was a little resistant to joining in the beginning because I was kind of like, do I really want to be a part of this fan group? But I saw what really drew me to that fan group is that you keep it so positive. All of the members really keep it. I'm not going to say that it's perfect. I mean, you have that many people. There might be a few issues that come up here and there, but for the most part, it is positive. People are connecting. They come to the group because they're a fan of Tyler Hynes, but then they connect with people who are also fans of Tyler's, but they're not, and they're talking about Tyler. That's a common interest, but it goes beyond that. It goes deeper than that. And people have long-standing friendships and relationships as a result of having this Facebook group, and so that's something that I realized once I saw that going on. I was like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. And so I just want to acknowledge you and all of your co-admins and everybody who's really a part of that group for keeping it positive. Now I'll just jump in then. So with this being such a big group, you have over 16,000 members. How on earth are you guys able to keep things as positive as you keep them in this group? What do you think the secret is?
I think the majority of the members really, really like, they just like to talk about great things about Tyler. And like you said, it's not perfect. And yes, we do have, every now and then I have to have conversations about, we're not doing the negative stuff. We're going to throw that out. And I'm not perfect either. I try to read every single comment that's out there, and it does take hours and hours and hours. But that's where, I need the fans to help me out too. You'll hear me say this many times today. If you see something, say something. If you're offended by a comment, then report it. It takes 2 seconds to click that little button to report it. When I see that report come up, or when one of the other folks that work with me, my other team members that work with me, we try to get on those very, very quickly. You all see the comments much quicker than we do, because I don't sit down and read comments till about 10 o'clock at night. That's when I actually get a chance to sit down and really read all of the comments. And I want to kind of detract just a second and back up just a second with the fan page. A very good example of this weekend. This weekend was filled with haters and scammers. That's who I dealt with all weekend long. It seems like, there's somebody gets on a roll about they don't like a particular actress in a particular movie, and they just kind of start feeding off of one another. So we have to stop that. And I shut off commenting, and I tell you, quite frankly, I'm done. Anybody else that wants to make a negative comment, just be prepared to be removed from the page, because we're not going to play that game. So I'm not going to tell you it's positive 100% of the time, but I am going to tell you that about 90%, 95% of the time, we're a bunch of happy little ladies out there that just love to talk about sweet Tyler. Really, honestly.
That's good. Yeah. Excellent answer, by the way, because I've been admitting Facebook groups, several of them, and I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
But excellent answer. And I think it is good. I think the fact your group really does reflect Tyler Hynes, because
Right.
I don't know, you would be hard pressed to find a more positive person than Tyler Hynes, I would say.
Right.
Right. He just never has a negative word to say about anybody.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And he loves all of his co-stars. He loves all of his movies. He loves everybody.
He really does. And we can say that, but until you actually go to a fan event and see him in action while you're standing in line and watching him take time with each individual person, and you'll hear people say this time and time again, it's as if you're the only person that's in the room. There's nobody else. He is connecting with you. He's talking to you. You're the important person that he's visiting with, and there's nobody else around. And those are the things that we love about him. And that is, you're absolutely right. He is the most positive individual. It's just amazing to me. And I know he's got to turn that off sometime, because you can't be 100% positive 100% of the time. I'm going to tell you, I know I sit in a position that I have to have a smile on my face, and I have to be on from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then I get an hour and 20 minutes to drive home and frown. And then when I get home, I have to be happy again, because I've got my mom there, and I love my mother very much. I truly do. But my gosh, if you were to live my world, you would go crazy, because the glass isn't half full, the glass isn't half empty. It's broken on the ground, and all the contents, now she got to clean it up. And that's my mother. And so I have to be the happy person, go the other direction and be the happy person. And, I never turn my job off. I get emails and text messages and stuff all day long, all night long. I mean, it's between the fan page and my job, it's like I never get to turn it off. So I have an hour and 20 minutes in the morning and an hour and 20 minutes in the afternoon when I drive home, and that's about it. The rest of the time, I got to be on. So I can't imagine I can't imagine he must smile in his sleep all night long, because he is truly the most positive individual, and he exudes that to us and makes us happy. So
exactly. Well, and I love the fact that you just shared with us a little more of your personal life, because I think that it's also very easy for those of us maybe who haven't been in a position to run a fan group or run really any kind of group. Maybe we just haven't had that experience. You might think, oh, well, that's easy. She's got it. And I realize you're just volunteering. It's not a paying job. But sometimes people look at the admins, oh, that's easy. She's just running a fan page, big deal. But then you start to hear all the other parts of your life, and you realize that there's only one real reason that you're running this fan page, because you love Tyler and you love the fans,
right.
and you're not doing it so that you can be put up on a pedestal and think, oh, look at how great Donna Joe is, and I know I can understand that, because sometimes, and of course, this is nobody here it would ever be like this, but I have the experiences of people thinking that I have a charmed life, even before I was working in the industry officially, just think, I had people who thought that I sat around all day literally and just talked to hot guys. I really had people that told me that, and it was like, okay. Right. You think that's where my life is? And I have a feeling that some people, none of these people here, but there might be the occasional person who thinks, well, Donna Joe, she just has instant access to Tyler, and she can talk to him whenever she wants, and she does it because he gives her this, or she, and that's not what I'm hearing from you. And I'm so grateful to know we're getting more of a fuller picture. I mean, you talking about being a caregiver, and then all these things, and then you've got your regular job. And I do understand what you're saying about you can't just turn it off. You don't get that time to really turn it off, and you're not going to have Donna Joe is not going to go have a pity party for a couple hours. She doesn't have time.
Yeah, no. Saturday night, I never went to bed. There was so much going on Saturday night. It was unbelievable. It started off with in the evening. I had finished reading a bunch of comments, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to turn this off now. And of course, I had a Tyler movie on, and I finished that. And so, and then I am also friends with some other admins on other pages, and one of them, Debbie, I was flipping through my notifications, and Debbie over on Andrew Walker's official page, was she was doing a live, and I thought, well, I'm gonna go sit over there and see what she's doing, see what's going on. I no more than hit click that I joined, and she goes, "Oh, Donna, come join us. Donna Joe, come join us." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I have no makeup on. I look absolutely horrible. If you want me to come on," I did, but I was in the dark. I kept myself in the dark. And an hour and a half later, Debbie and I are still talking. And I finally said, "Debbie, we got to cut this off. We both got things to do." And prior to that, after I had finished reading comments, some folks had let me know that there were some scammers out there. And we'll talk about that in just a minute, but there were some scammers out there, and I had to deal with that with those nice ladies that had gotten themselves into trouble with some scammers. And so I helped them out. And then I went chasing after those scammers to see what I can do to try to combat that. So it really never stops. And like I said, when I got through, with the live over on Andrew Walker's page with Debbie, she went chasing after the reason she went live, which was a very unpleasant situation for her, but she got results on her end, and I got a little bit of results on my end too. So, it really doesn't ever, I know the next morning, I literally never went to bed, and I guess it was about 5:30, 6 o'clock, something, Debbie texted me and she goes, "I never went to bed." And I went, "I didn't either." And so she said, "Call me." And so I called her. So 2 hours later, she and I are still talking on the phone and had never gone to bed. That's the way it goes. So, but we do have a lot of fun. I do talk to a lot of the other admins. I get a lot of great input from those other admins on good, positive things to do. But I can tell you, more than likely, they come to me and they go, "How do you manage this? How do you do this?" And I go, we dig in there and we do it. And I've got the best fans in the world in this group. Tyler's fans they truly are just the heart and soul. And I think what's great is it's not just our fan club. This is a great segue. And Ruth, I'm going to kind of take over here for just a minute and kind of ramble on this. But
go for it.
It's not just the Tyler Hynes official Facebook fan club page. That's the biggest one. That's the 16,000 plus. There's a sister group, and that's the Tyler Hynes Fans Spicy, and that's run by Bo Dash and Teresa Schmidt. They've got and that's exactly what that group is exactly what that title is. They're Tyler Hynes fans, and they're a little on the spicy side. And that's a fun little group over there that they have a great time together. I call them our Twilight group because they're the nighttime girls, and that's great. I'm super happy for them that they have this great time over there. And then we flip over to Instagram. You've got the Hynies headquarters. They're a very strong promoter of Tyler over there on Instagram. You've got Hynes Lines, very strong promoter of Tyler over there. You've got the shirts account, Tyler Hynes Shirts, and Tyler Hynes Shirtless account. They're very, very strong, positive, good groups over there. And then some of us, of course, I'm over there. You're more than welcome to follow me over there. I share a lot of information over there as well. And then, many of us go over to Twitter. I know Shirts is on Twitter, Shirtless is on Twitter. I don't know who else is, but those are some good positive ones. Unfortunately, for the Hallmark actors, there are scammers out there, and it just breaks my heart every time I read a message from somebody that says, "I've been talking to Tyler for the last 3 weeks, and now he is mad at me because I won't give him any money. How can I make him not be? I don't have any money to give him." Or they tell me these horrific stories about the thousands of dollars that they've given. And now he's ignoring them, and they want to know why he's ignoring them, because they don't have any more money to give. It just breaks my heart. And Tyler has said it. I guess people just want so badly to believe that Tyler has time to sit and visit with them for 2 or 3 hours every day. I don't know. it boggles my mind, but it breaks my heart too, because these scammers play upon these people. They get them to talking, they read what, and I'm just going to tell you, they're on the Facebook page. I can't stop that from happening. We stopped. I had this one particular one that I caught Saturday night had been on the page for 53 minutes and had gathered enough information in 53 minutes to go after somebody and try to get money from that person in 53 minutes. And I see the posts that are made over there and the stuff that's discussed. People tell their personal life all over the place. And I'm just like, y'all need to be careful. You please be careful what you say, because when you start talking about being depressed, or you start talking about, I just recently lost my husband, or a family member, scammers zero in on that, and they take advantage of you at your lowest point in your life. So don't let these scammers, these fake Tyler pages, stay on our page, stay on, if you're on Instagram, stay on the Hynes headquarters page, the Hynes lines, stay on these accounts that are tried and true and real accounts. Don't go out there looking for Tyler Hynes pages. Stay away from them. He doesn't have any other pages. Yes, he does have a personal he does have a personal Facebook page, but he will tell you, don't come join. I don't post over there. Right. I come and talk to you on the fan pages. I come talk to you on this page, and I talk to you on the spicy page. Those are the places where he talks to people. He is not going to ask you to join WhatsApp. He is not going to ask you to join Google Hangouts or any of these other private chats. Tyler works. He's working. If he's not filming, he's reading scripts. If he's not reading scripts, he's working on a script with the whole entire big picture group people, the director, the makeup, the wardrobe, the other actors and actresses. They're working through it. It's a lot. It takes a lot, and they're working all the time. So please, please understand, he has over 80,000 fans on his Instagram account. I think last time I looked, he had something like 15 or 16,000 on Twitter. He doesn't have time to talk to you one-on-one. He just doesn't. So please, please don't give money. He will never, ever ask you privately to give money. And I've only had, in the years that I've followed him, or in the years that I've watched him, I've only seen him ask a couple of times publicly for people to donate. One of them was to the AIDS walk that he supported right before the COVID exploded on us, and he wasn't able to actually do the real walk. I know that was one of them. I know that for those of you that follow him, the very first puppy dog that he fell in love with Pomeranians, was Cricket. And that was in Falling for You. He met this little dog and just fell in love. And Cricket got sick and needed some very expensive surgeries. And he came out and said, if you can help, give a few dollars, please do. But that was always public. He put it on his Instagram account, and it was very public. And I'm sorry, I'm talking with my hands. I'm going to sit on my hands. Sorry.
Okay.
But I'm going to get off the rant for a little while, but I'm just going to tell you, if you see these fakes out there on these other accounts, or you are talking to your friends who you've met through the fan page, and you hear them start to talk about, oh, Tyler and I are chatting, please, please, no, tell them no. And if you see something, say something. Direct message me, direct message Gail. They'll get the message to me. I've taken up this crusade of trying to put a stop to these fake scammers. And the only way to stop them, Facebook isn't going to take them down. Give that ghost up. That isn't going to happen. The only way to stop them is to turn off their source of income. Take them off your payroll. You keep your money and send them down the road. Eventually, when there's no more money that they can get from Tyler Hynes fans, they're going to go somewhere else. But I know Paul Green has the problem. I know Jesse Metcalf has the problem. I hear Jack Wagner all the time. I hear these guys all the time tell you, Chris Palaha, I know I've heard him say it before. I feel so bad for these Hallmark actors. I truly do, but I know what it is. And that is, they draw a large, older crowd of ladies who thrive on attention, and the actors give them attention. I'm going to tell you, there's nowhere else in the industry that actors give attention to their fans like they do on Hallmark. And I can tell you, Tyler is like right up there at the top of giving attention to his fans. He's amazing. So please, and I'm going to shut up about this, but I can't, Ruth, I can't tell you, it's so frustrating. And every time I hear it, the first thing that happens is they tell me, and then when I say, Tyler's not talking to you, then they get mad at me. And then they realize maybe Donna Joe knows something. And so then they kind of back off and they, whatever. But follow the tried and true accounts that are real Tyler Hynes. We are real Tyler Hynes fans, and we support Tyler 100%. You can tell by the postings that go on. These fake accounts, they go out there, they take Tyler's stuff that he's posted and they repost it as themselves. That's just plain flat out what happens. They go and they hack accounts, and then they come and join our account. And many times, like I said, the one that was on there for 53 minutes, I know the person, I know, and I'm not going to tell you who it was, but I know that it was someone on my team that let them in, and I would have let them in. Had I seen the account first, I'd have let them in, because it was that good. They just took an account, they hacked it. It was a normal account that has posts and friends and pictures, and it could have been my account. They could have hacked my account and come and wanted to join. But we got them.
That's good. No, honestly, Donna Joe, I appreciate you even taking that time to say that, because I know that I hear all the actors mention it from time to time, but to really hear it from you, and also to be saying, to let you know, because I hear about it from, people come to me about, various accounts that they wonder about. And I've heard the horror stories as well about people giving thousands of money to people. And it's an important message that I don't think we can emphasize enough. I think you're exactly right. People want so desperately to believe that these people they have this time to sit around and talk with them, and it makes them feel so good, and they think, oh, it's really this person, and then they realize, oh, it's not really this person. And so it's really good to have that awareness out there. And so I'm glad you took the time to do it. That was actually, I hadn't even thought about you doing that, and I'm glad that you just went off, because I think it's an important message for fans, a very, very important message. And so, thank you for doing that. So the question that I wanted to be sure to ask you, so you were a Tyler Hynes fan before he came to Hallmark, but then he came to Hallmark. Now, were you a Hallmark fan before Tyler came to Hallmark?
Yes.
Okay, you were.
Yeah, I can remember, and I still own the VHS tape, Love Letters. It was my very first Hallmark. It was a Hallmark Hall of Fame, and it still is one of my, I'm going to tell you, it's still my very favorite film. I love Tyler, I truly do, but there is just something about your first love, and that movie was my first love. That was my first encounter with Hallmark, and it was my first love with Hallmark, and it's still very close to my heart. I still own the like I said, I still own the VHS tape. I won't part with it. It's worn out. It can't be played anymore, and I still have a VHS player, and it can't be played anymore. But yeah, I was a fan for a long time. So yeah, so it was a thrill for me to see Tyler come across. It was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Yes, okay,
Yeah.
I'm in heaven now.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, there was something about Valemont. Valemont was just, for those of you that are Tyler Hynes fans, and if you have not gone to see this, go find it somewhere. It's kind of hard to find now, but try to find it. I'm not sure if Tubi still I'm not sure who has it now, but I own it. I bought it. It was an MTV series that was on. And it's yes, it's about vampires, and yes, there's blood in it, and so you kind of, if you're queasy about those sorts of things, you kind of have to zip through that just to see the Tyler parts of it. But I can remember I was a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You know, David Boreanaz was just like, oh my God, you know, I remember oogling and ogling over him too. Angel, that was, you know, that was during that time, like time frame right in there. And so when this came on, I remember seeing him and I thought, man, who is that? And I will tell you, I told this to Tyler, and when we were in Franklin, Tennessee, I said, I just remember going, man, who is that? And now he's drinking her blood out of her wrist. Oh my God, you know, it was just, it's too funny. And Tyler and I laughed about that a long time. And he even said, he goes, he's got a great friend that's his favorite role that Tyler ever did, which I suspect I know who that person is. But anyway, I just think that was just my first encounter with him. And it was wonderful. But it was so short. It was like, I was expecting it to last longer and longer, and it didn't. And then when they didn't bring it back, I'm like, wait, no, you finished the storyline. You just left us hanging there. So anyway, I think he was a vampire. People don't think he was a vampire. We can argue about that all day long, but I think he was a vampire.
Right. So now that Tyler has just become this huge Hallmark star, which I knew would happen. I knew it. I didn't know anything about him when he came to Hallmark. And I interviewed him, and I mean, it's why he and I have this relationship, because I told him what he needed to do. I said, here's my recommendations of what you should do to really get the Hallmark fan base going. And he followed everything I said, and then put his own spin on it, and then did it even more than what I had said. And I was like, oh, you've got it. You know, I just watched the whole thing. I just watched everything just blow up, you know, the whole giveaway thing. I had this much idea for the giveaway, and then he went to like the super extreme that,
right.
But I mean, I just mentioned it, and then I was like, oh, you're going to do that. And so now so for those of you who know about Tyler Hynes giveaways that he does every time, that was something he and I kind of started, and then he really took it, and he just has me choose the winners now. It's really, really all he does. He just has me, I just help out with that. Some people think I work for him, and I really don't work for him. It's just something that I still do just to help him out, so he doesn't have to go through the list of names. I just go through and put it all into like a randomizer and pick the names and help him out. So that's my little thing that I still do with him. But so now that he has done all these Hallmark movies, this is probably a hard question to ask for like an ultimate Tyler fan like you, but do you have a favorite Tyler Hynes Hallmark movie?
You know, that question is asked on the fan page a lot. I will tell you, somebody posts that question all the time. And of course, those of you who are relatively new, you're going to say it was always you. That's your favorite. I know. I see Sandra Bowman. I can see her picture on here, and she's shaking her head. Yes, I know that's her favorite. I know there's lots of them that's their favorite. But you know, there's something about each one of his characters and what he does with those characters in each film that just makes them special. And God, how can you choose? I know that, there's lots of them that Owen is their favorite, and oh my gosh, and Winter and Vale and Owen, and I can't, every one of them, every single one of his movies are special, and every single one of them, there's just something about each one of his characters. If I had to marry one of them, I don't think I could marry one of those characters. Honestly, I'd be cheating all the time because I'd be going, no. I guess it's maybe that, and I will tell you, maybe that's why I never married, because I just could never, focus in on, there's different things I like about different men, so maybe that's the reason. But truly, there's just something unique about each and every one of his characters that he puts a spin on each one of them that's different. There's no two characters alike. In the Hallmark world, there's, and then he, ventures off into Letterkenny, and there's just, there's something special about each and every single one of them. I couldn't decide which one I liked the best.
Oh yeah.
If I had to rank them, Winter and Vale is really pretty far up there in the top for me. But I think maybe it's also, my love of Lacey, and I just think the two of them just fit together like a ball and a glove.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I said, I love them all. There's not one that I favor over another. Maybe Winter and Vale just a little bit.
Yeah.
But nah, I love all the Tylers.
There you go. That sounds good. Oh well, and I do completely understand. It's just like Tyler is that his characters are so varied, and it was funny. I also have said that I think Tyler can get away with things in the Hallmark world that maybe other actors can't get away with.
Right.
Which I think is really, I think that speaks to him very, very much. Because something that at Christmas Con, I don't know, I happened to catch one panel, and he was on that one panel that I caught, and they were writing a Hallmark movie. That was part of what they were doing. And Ashley Williams was up there writing a Hallmark movie, and she starts talking about all these things, and I'm thinking, that's not going to go with Hallmark. That's not going to go with Hallmark. And then once she said, well, Tyler Hynes, because he was he'll play this role. I'm like, oh, well, you just brought Tyler into it. Now the movie can go forward, because Tyler Hynes can just get it. I think Tyler is that kind of actor who he can push the envelope just enough. He pushes it just enough. He knows how far to go. He knows when to stop. But for some reason, with other actors, sometimes they can't get away with some of those things. Sometimes they can't, and it's not that they're doing anything wrong. I'm not trying to say Tyler's doing something wrong, but those of you who are longtime fans and have watched the movies, you probably understand what I'm talking about. He really can. He can push that satire, and he can do those say those really sarcastic things that another actor saying it to, like Lacey Chabert, or to one of these other actresses, you might take offense, but with Tyler, you don't. He just has that way of being able to say it, and it's funny, and it's not mean spirited, and it's just his style. I don't know.
He has a swagger to him. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's a swagger that he has. Yeah. And he just kind of, he says something, and you look at him and go, wow. Okay, see, he could say that to me all day long, and I'd be okay with that.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But it's funny that you talk about that. If you go back and you look at Tyler starting as in It's Christmas Eve, and you compare that character and what he got away with in that movie, or didn't get away with, I would love to see what would happen if we refilmed that whole entire movie now.
That's true.
With Tyler now. Okay. I would love to see how that could that movie would just explode. Truly. I truly think that movie would explode. I think that there is a trust that not only Hallmark has, but I think there's a trust that these actresses have that when they work opposite Tyler, there's that. I think you can feel it. I think you can see it. I think that comes across on the screen, how they trust him to do the right thing and to make this perfect.
Yeah.
If that's even a way to say it, to make the movie perfect. And it's not going to be perfect. I mean, I get just a little bit, it makes me just a little bit upset sometimes when, people start pointing out all the things that are wrong with the movie. But, and that's kind of human nature. I don't watch the movies for mistakes. I watch the movies for sheer entertainment and the sheer joy of them. I know I make mistakes in life, and life is like a movie. I mean, I feel like I'm in front of the camera all day long, and I'm not going to be perfect, and I'm not going to say the right things. And so I don't expect movies to be that way, but it's just, I think these directors, the other actors, everyone involved, I think that there is such a trust that Tyler's going to do such phenomenal work. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. He can do it all if he wanted to. But I think honing in on those things and that trust that they have, like I said, I would love to see It's Christmas Eve filmed all over again, or Falling for You. Oh my gosh, just imagine he and Taylor Cole doing it all over again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Those early films, those first two, really, if we could redo those first two today. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Great. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Well, I do know we have a really great audience, and I don't want to overlook them. I mean, you have been amazing, and I know we could sit here for another 3 or 4 hours, Gio, discussing. I mean, I know that, and that's on a, we would probably even share more. But I also want to make sure that we hear from some of our audience members here, and really what I'm looking for, not that you have to be all polished and everything, but if anyone has either like maybe a question for Donna Joe, or maybe you want to mention something, some way that the group or Tyler has affected you, and I'm not saying I'll get to everybody, but if you would like to come on camera, is there anybody who would like to? I know the chat's been going on. I've been paying attention to the chat for the most part. And you guys have been really positive. I've noticed that. But is there anyone who would like to share? I'm just going to let me put it on gallery for just a moment and see if okay, good. I see somebody. So it looks like Joanne would like to share, so let me bring her on. Yeah. All right. And so Joanne. All right. You'd like to share? Go ahead. Hi.
Thank you. Donna Joe, I just wanted to thank you so much, because I was in Franklin, Tennessee also. And I mainly went, of course, to see Paul, because I've been a fan of his longer, but you were right behind me in line to see Tyler, and the line just wasn't getting any shorter because he took all that time with everybody. And when he talked to you, it was like you were the only one in the room. I've never seen anything like it or felt like anything like it. And you put your Facebook page on my phone while we were in line. You were so cute. And you said, don't go near any of the other ones. This is the only one. I'm going to put it right on your phone. And you did that while we were in line. So I just want to say I was grateful to be in line with you, and thank you so much. And I've enjoyed the page very much. So thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you and Tyler.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I do remember meeting you, and there were a lot of fans there. Yes, I went up and down that line. I was I was pumping the page that day. I absolutely was. Yes. And we had a great time in line. I think that was what was so fun. No, the lines weren't moving very fast, but we didn't really care because that's how we became friends. Oh my gosh. It was so amazing. And other people commented on how much fun we were having in line. I know when I would walk around in other areas, they'd go, man, that Tyler Hynes line, those women are crazy over there. And we were having a crazy good time. We really were. It was fun.
A pleasure. Thank you, Donna Joe.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for sharing, Joanne. There she is. We hear her. Good.
Hi, Donna.
Right.
Nice to meet you.
It is nice to meet you.
Thank you. I'm a newbie here and I'm making dinner. I'm Italian and I realized I don't start making dinner now, it's not going to be ready. So, but I just wanted to ask, first of all, thank you. I'm completely impressed. And thank you, Ruth, for doing this too. But I'm so impressed with what you do during the course of your day. I don't know how, you're like Superwoman. There's no, honestly, you have to be. I'm thinking, how does this woman do all that? I just don't know. But I wanted to ask you, did you have any idea that this fan group was going to take off like this? I mean, it's really remarkable. And is it really because of Tyler? I mean, it probably
Yes.
is. But I mean, the fans, I can't. Did you really know it was going to be this big of a ordeal? Wonderful.
I did, and it's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. I think the groups are. I think all of the groups are the real Tyler Hynes fans. It's going to only get bigger as he goes along because he is truly just as genuine and kind and good-hearted and sweet and wonderful. Just what you see in the characters that he plays on Hallmark. And the fun side of the characters that are non-Hallmark, when you see those fun side of those characters, that is truly Tyler. I mean, he really is that wonderful person. And if you ever get a chance to meet him, and I know you and I chatted about that, just go stand in line. You need to stand in line. You need to meet him once. You really do.
I would love to. We all would, I'm sure.
Yeah, we can all sit. Yeah, go ahead.
One more question. Did you do this truly because you saw the kind of person he was and you really wanted to help get him started because you cared so much because he was so genuine and it came from the heart?
When I very first joined the fan club, and like many people, this is the first fan club I'd ever joined. I didn't join other fan clubs. I'm not a fanny girl. I don't do those kind of things. I enjoy watching people and I enjoy following them. For a long time, when social media very first came out, it was frowned upon people who were in education to be on social media because it was a link to getting yourself in trouble with students. And so it was very much frowned upon for us to be on social media, at least in the district that I have worked for over 20 years, almost 25 years. I'm at 23 now. And so when social media very first came out, it was definitely a frown. And when I started watching and seeing and watching other people on social media, I went ahead and got a Facebook page and I started on several others. I could see where this was going to go in the wrong direction or it could go in the right direction. So when Tyler Hynes fan club was started by Barbara Ann, I didn't join right away because, again, I was very concerned about fraud. I was very concerned about fakes, and I was very leery of that. So I sat back and kind of watched just a little bit. But when I knew that Tyler was actually a member, then I knew it was authentic. And that was what was important to me, is that it was authentic. And so there were, like I said, there were maybe, when I joined, there was maybe 300 or 400 people at that point.
When was
it was maybe a month or so, maybe 2 months after the club was started.
Okay.
So it was very, very soon after that, that it was started that I joined. But to answer your question, yes, I absolutely believe that Tyler is as popular as he is because of the person that he is. his interaction, his honest interaction, genuine interaction with fans. He didn't want to do fan events because he wanted to make sure that if he did them, that they were going to be authentic, that they were going to be real, and that he could take time with each and every fan that was important to him. And I think the fan events, I didn't go to Christmas Con, but from what I've heard, that, you know, most everybody felt like it was a success in that respect. I can tell you from being in Franklin, Tennessee, absolutely. It was a wonderful experience. And yes, we stood in long lines, and yes, the lines moved very slowly, but I'm going to tell you, there were, the whole time I was there were two ladies that were mad, and we got rid of them very quickly because we figured out they really weren't Tyler fans.
Oh.
So we're not gonna, they were just fangirls that just wanted to, you know, be fangirls. And that's not, you know, you're not gonna sit there and badmouth Tyler in front of real Tyler fans because he's taken too long with real Tyler fans. That's why we're there. And that's why he was there. So.
And it's just one last question. I'm sorry, I don't want to.
No, it's okay.
But is just blocking these fake profiles enough, or do you have to do something more than that?
Just let me know. Yes, block them.
Okay.
And let me know. If you know how to report them, that's great. But I can tell you from experience on the Facebook side of it, I have gone above just reporting them, and I have taken them to the next level because I've reported so many, and I've gone to a committee. And I'm going to tell you, those fake accounts aren't doing anything wrong. What happens is they contact someone and ask them to step down into a private chat. When they go to those private chats, which are off of Facebook, that's where the illegal stuff starts happening. They're not doing anything illegal. You could go in and set up you could go in and set up 4 or 5 dummy accounts. But to answer your question, just make sure you block them and let me know take pictures of the cover, take pictures of you know, what's going on, and send those messages to me so that I can do my investigation. Chances are I already know about them, but there are so many. Oh my God, there are so many. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's awful.
So please, yeah, block them.
Thank you. Thank you
That's your
both.
best bet.
Thank
And
you.
don't talk to them.
That's right.
No, I won't. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
thanks
thank you,
so much.
Arlene. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's good. Man, these are such good questions. So thank you. And thank you, Donna Joe, for being willing to answer these questions.
Hi, Mary.
Hi everybody. Yes, I met Tyler in Franklin and in Newark, and yeah, a sweetheart. I came late to the party now. Has anybody mentioned how he can convey emotion without saying anything? I mean, you can read his
Isn't
face.
that true?
Yeah.
Isn't that true? He has such a way with his look. Yeah, that's our Tyler. He's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Where I've forgotten the names of the movies go beyond me. Where he dropped someone off at an inn and they couldn't take her, and then he's sitting in the car but it went wrong, and he doesn't say a word, and you can see on his face.
Yes.
Yeah. He also talked about imitating in the basketball sequence, imitating a basketball coach that he's familiar with, and how he uses these throwaway remarks were so effective.
He really does do his research. He really does do his research. And it's interesting that you talked about that in that particular movie, Sweet Carolina. I remember I'm a Houston Rockets fan, and he mentioned Akeem Olajuwon, Akeem Olajuwon is one of my absolute all-time favorite basketball players. I watched him all the way through college ball when he played in Houston. And then then he ended up on the Rockets, and I was just so excited between him. And when he mentioned Akeem Olajuwon and he said his name correctly, I went completely nuts. And I know every time that particular part comes up, I can see Tyler, imitating coaches, and then he brings up and he talks about Akeem Olajuwon's footwork, and it's just like, that's a highlight for me, because I actually got to meet Akeem Olajuwon, and so that's very special to me. That's a connection for me in that movie that's just unbelievable. So yeah, he does his research on his characters. He really does a great job.
Thing about his kindness, he has a fan that I'm going to room with when we go down to Palm Beach, who is a teacher of the deaf, and she's deaf. And I made up a sign in Newark, that said hi and her name, and asked him to hold it out. And he did. And not only that, but he was taking the pictures. He took several pictures, and then he kissed the sign.
Oh, how sweet.
And when I sent it to her, and she said, I'm screaming.
Oh, that's sweet. That's very sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And I just brought on another person here, and I see there's people. I'm seeing people, but this is Stacy, who I know she wanted to come on and say something.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Donna Joe. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. You remind me of everyone at my daughter's school, by the way, like the whole school admin thing. We're also in the South, and you're just like friendly, smiling, all that. And I've also met Hakeem Olajuwon randomly. So there you go. We are connected now.
Love Hakeem. He's really such a nice guy.
So I don't know if I have a question or a statement or whatever, so we're just going to combine it all. But I think the first movie I saw Tyler in was Winter in Vale. And what struck me was how natural he seemed. And I think he actually said this when he was talking about working with Joy, how it wasn't like, walk, hit spot, say line, walk, hit spot. Like, I was like, he's actually opening a car door while he's saying a line. He can do two things at one time. Like, it just looked natural. And Ruth and Donna Joe, you both said, like, he can get away with things also that other actors can't necessarily. And I know, like, and what I love is like the sarcasm. There are some others who are a little sarcastic also, but why do you think, what is it why can he get away with that? Why does Hallmark, is it Hallmark that wouldn't let other people get away with it? Can they just not deliver it in the same way? It's just, that's kind of his thing, and I don't know how he got that. Like, I'm sure other people can do it too, but that is his thing, and he pushes the envelope a little more and seems to get away with it, which we all love.
He has. First of all, who could say no to Tyler with anything, right, Ruth? Who can say no to Tyler? I mean, come on. I mean, you just kind of want to squeeze his little face, and when he asks you,
or
yes,
other.
Sorry. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, this is not spicy chat. All right.
I work in the school. I work in education. The hands above the desk. Okay, I'm just gonna say. So, but I will say, I mean, honestly, I think again, it comes from his genuine soul. And that's the only way I know how to explain it. He has a genuine soul. And so when he talks to these people about these scenes, and they're blocking these scenes, and they're building these scenes, and they're talking about it, their trust in how he's going to deliver something I think that is overwhelming. He's so genuine, and he's so sincere, and he's so smart and good. And he can make a scene. He can build that scene from nothing, just words on a piece of paper, and he can build that scene and make it happen. And it's effortless. And that's what comes across is this effortless perfection. So I think it goes back to his being genuine, his being sincere, his being all in. He's all in. He's not distracted by something over here or something over here. He's all in. He's honed in on that, and he wants this to be the next best film.
I love that. Oh, I'm sorry.
You know
I just want to say that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. He wants this to be the next best film. He wants that not only for himself, he wants to be very proud of the product that he puts out. Not only does he want it to be the best for the person he's acting across or the other group of people he's with and Hallmark, but he wants it for his fans too. I mean, he's just really that genuine and that sincere. And I think, probably wrong, I don't know, because I've not talked to him about this, but I'm going to tell you, that boy was raised right.
Yes.
That boy was raised right. I don't know, but that boy was raised right. Somebody raised him right. And I think that is the foundation. I do believe that's the foundation, and that carries over from small on. Because if you go back and you watch him in those early pieces of Jonathan Wambach film, and those of you that have not seen that, oh my God, go to YouTube and watch the Jonathan Wambach story, the tagged Jonathan Wambach story. You will see a character that he does that is just at that age. I mean, really? I work in a high school. I know bullying in high school. Okay. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've watched it. And what he did in that film was spot on. And that was important to him. It was important to him. It was important to the character that he was portraying. And it was important to the person that character was built around. So he's had this all along. And that's why I say he was raised right. Mama raised him right.
Yeah, she did. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Yes. And I do know his mom. So I mean, I've not met her, but I've had some interactions with her. Definitely. Yeah. She's amazing. Well, thank you, Stacy. Thank you so much. It was lovely.
Thank you. And I apologize. My dog really wanted
No,
to be
don't apologize for your dog. We love your dog. We love your dog. It's all right. That's the beauty of this. And so we have Cheryl and Deborah.
Hi, Donna Joe.
Hi.
Listen, I want to thank you for the group. I want to thank you for being a great moderator, admin. The group is terrific. I am just overjoyed with 16,000 plus fans and being one of them. And I just want to say, and I'm fixing to get emotional here.
Oh, you make me emotional.
Tyler, through the pandemic and through my medical issues of me not being able to go outside, Tyler, with his amazing, thoughtful, caring, loving, sensitive, warm side in all of his movies has helped me through so much. And I just want to thank you and him for being able to do that for me and for being there for all of us, including, Tyler being there whenever he can and you being there constantly. I just want to say thank you.
Oh, Deborah, thank you so much. I don't do nothing, girl. I don't do nothing. I'm just there. I love to see y'all interact. I love to interact with you. I wish I could do it more. I don't do nothing, really.
Donna Joe, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You are amazing. You are amazing.
Thank you.
I look at your page on Instagram. I don't know if we're friends on Facebook. I have friends that I can't remember, but if we're not, I am going to go join and ask you for a friend.
Absolutely. I don't get to do much with my own Facebook page, but because I'm on Tyler's, the fan page all the time. So
But
that's really where I do, most of my stuff
right,
over there
that's
too.
that's
But
the one I'm a member
yeah,
of, and I have been in all of his conversations that he's come on Facebook, and just y'all have just been a great part of my life, and I want to thank you.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we're there, that we're all there together, and we really have helped each other through this enormous burden that COVID has brought into us. It has been a burden for all of us, and we don't need to let it take our joy. We need to be joyful where we can find it. And that joy is in Tyler and this fan page and the other fan pages that are out there, the other fan clubs that are out there that are supporting Tyler. And that's important. That's what we need to be here for, each other and raise each other up. That's what this is all about. Yes,
And
ma'am.
exactly. And I'm gonna pay it back forward. If anybody needs to talk or anything like that, like you say, we're going through this pandemic together. Tyler is sharing it with us. I just wanted to say that I'm here for anybody that needs to talk, that's going through something or anything, any of the girls. I know there's a few on the page that I am friends with that I've seen going through things, but I'm here as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's what we want.
Yeah.
We want people to be there for each other.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for letting me on.
No problem. All right. So Cheryl, you're up next.
I just wanted to say, Donna Joe, you are amazing. I was a admin on 2 different pages for a very popular British actor by the name of David Tennant, who was the 10th Doctor in Doctor Who, if anyone's familiar with it.
Yeah, I am. Yes.
I actually got to meet him a couple years ago, but I know what it takes to be an admin. I actually met my 2 very best friends. One lives in Kentucky and the other lived in Tucson. Sadly, she passed away a year ago, but they were my best friends. They were my sisters. And not to pity party here, but I don't have a wide circle of friends. Most of my friends are on Facebook and internet.
Right.
But I just want to thank you for the diligence and stuff you put in, and to Tyler, because Tyler is amazing. I would love to meet him. Like my dear old mother used to say, he could park his slippers under my bed anytime he wants. Her other favorite one was he could eat crackers in bed and wouldn't,
It's a very famous song with that line in it.
My mother said that for years. But I just, I have been a Hallmark fan since, Littlest Angel back in the 60s. And you do such an amazing job. You are so phenomenal and doing everything you do and keeping everything positive. And Tyler I love him to death. He is just amazing. I would love to meet him. If they ever bring Rama Drama to Phoenix, hello, I'm there. I do go to Comic-Cons. I got to meet Dick Van Dyke a few years ago.
Wow.
That was amazing. Yeah, he was phenomenal. He was probably my peak right there. But I'm sitting here in Phoenix. I could come in January. It's only 72. Not to brag. He has such gorgeous weather. But no, I would love for, if Tyler could ever come to Arizona, that would be amazing. But like I said, I just wanted to get on here and thank you for all you do. Because I know how, I had people, DMing me on the pages I admin, and they're like, "Oh, how are you today, David?" Hello, I'm not David. We're fans. We're just a bunch of old ladies who like David Tennant. Go away. We're not him. And they would get literally, and we had some people that would get little over the top. Let's just say would make the spicy page look calm. And I just, we tried to be fun and positive, and we would get a little naughty. Hey, we live vicariously through, whatever. We can dream. But like
There
I
you
said,
go.
I just wanted to thank you for everything you do. And just say it is amazing. I love the page. I love Spicy. I mean, you guys are just phenomenal in all you do. And I know it's not easy.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a good time, and it's the members,
Yeah.
it's the fans that really make it fun. And you guys, the material that you put out there, in those posts, that you all make it really fun.
Well, thank you again, sweetheart. And you all have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Cheryl. That was great. All right, and now we have Lisa, who and so hi, Lisa. Thank you for coming on. And
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Ruth.
Hi.
I went to Christmas Con in Edison this year. I was originally going to see Lacey, and surprise, surprise, Tyler was there. So I waited on his line, and I had just saw Roadhouse Romance, and just watching him and then watching one of his panels. I've never been on a fan page before. I was just amazed how humble he is.
Mm-hmm. And that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. That's not him being an actor. That's real.
Yeah. So I'm a fan forever. I enjoy your page. I really want to go to Roma Drama.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any friends that are crazy as I am to go.
Don't let that hold you back. Oh my
Right.
gosh, don't let that hold you back. I didn't know. I went by myself. I drove from Houston to Franklin, Tennessee. It took me 17 hours. That was not planned, but the drive was planned, and I drove by myself. And I'm going to tell you, I met the most wonderful people and got to talk to the most wonderful people, the fans. Don't let that hold you back. You go, girl. If you can afford to do it, you need to do it. And if you can't, with this one that's coming up in June, then keep saving your money and go to the next one, because you will come away with friends. No one is a stranger. No one is a stranger. You gotta go stand in line. And if I get a chance to go, and I'm working on it, if I get a chance to go, you'll see me running my mouth and going up and down the line and getting people to talking to one another, because that's what it's all about. We're all friends. We're all there. We have a common goal, and that is our love for Tyler. That's what our common goal is. So don't let you not knowing anybody, or you don't have anybody to go with, just get there. Right. Get there, and you'll have more friends than you'll ever know what to do with.
Good.
I promise you. I'm going to tell you. I promise you, because I came away with so many friends. It is unbelievable. It really truly is. So don't let that hold you back. You go.
Are they going to have another Roma Drama after June?
I'm pretty sure that she will. I don't want to. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Right. But I'm going to tell you, Gabrielle likes doing this, and I think it's gonna only get better. They're only gonna get better, and they'll be.
Yeah, I think I learned of Roma Drama on the fan book page.
Okay,
so,
right.
And so I learned a lot, and just learning a lot about him. And I was
don't compare Christmas Con to Rama Drama. This is night and day difference.
Right.
It truly is night and day difference. So don't compare that. Listen to what we're saying on the page, and then go ahead and go over and join their Rama Drama's live Facebook page. Yeah. And listen to what's being said over there too, because Christmas Con and Rama Drama are two totally different type of fan events entirely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a Roma Drama Facebook group, I should say, that you can join. I'm admin over, one of the admins over there. So if you and so far, we don't turn anybody away. I mean, it's been pretty positive over there. So if you want more information, and Gabrielle, who's one of the founders, she's a member of the group, and she's really good about responding to questions over there. So you can join the group even if you don't end up going. There's a lot of people who join the group just because they are hoping to go in the future.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for coming on. It was great seeing you.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you.
Yeah.
Exactly right. All right. Well, now I know we are a little bit over time because I try to keep these about an hour, but it was good. I think I got through. There could be people that I missed. It's possible, but I'm going to say we got through quite a few questions. Donna Joe, you have been incredible, and I'm so and really having the fans come on. That's one of the main reasons I do it. I do it for the guests, and I do it because I love to talk to people. But I love the fact that so many of you were willing to come on. I love the chat. I've been reading the chat. I've been keeping up with the chat, and it's just so great. I love that some of you were so willing to come on, and that you are what's making this experience so very special. So thank you, and thank you, Donna Joe, for all you do and for being willing to come on. I so appreciate having you, and I look forward to being able to share this. But I really enjoyed having you guys on, and of course, I will keep doing these. Got a lot of guests coming up, but I'm sure at some point I'll have Tyler on. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'm sure I will ask him when the time is right. But thank you guys so much for being a part of it.
Well, thank you, Ruth. This has been so much fun, and it's been so much fun seeing so many people and visiting with so many people. This is great. Y'all, this is really a lot of fun, and let's just keep this rolling.
That's right.
Let's keep talking. Let's just keep it going.
That's right.
Now, wasn't that just a simply amazing discussion? I was so overwhelmed with the fan support. And at one point, yes, I did get emotional. It's true. I was fighting back tears. So I just hope that all of you will continue to join in. I am so appreciative. We have some great episodes coming up. And feel free to subscribe. Feel free to join the Facebook group. Feel free to leave me a review, an Apple Podcast. That would be fantastic. And I look forward to seeing you all for our next episode. Have a great day.